Israel became a near impossible political problem for Joe Biden, and Kamala Harris will not find it any easier. Today she met Benjamin Netanyahu.
Prime Minister, and I look forward to our conversation. We have lots to talk about. Israel has a right to defend itself. I also expressed with the Prime Minister my serious concern about the scale of human suffering in Gaza, including the death of far too many innocent civilians. And I made clear my serious concern about the dire humanitarian situation there. We cannot look away in the face of these tragedies. We cannot allow ourselves to become numb to the suffering, and I will not be silent. Thanks to the leadership of our President, Joe Biden, there is a deal on the table for a ceasefire and a hostage deal. The first phase of the deal would bring about a full ceasefire, including a withdrawal of the Israeli military from population centers in Gaza. In the second phase, the Israeli military would withdraw from Gaza entirely, and it would lead to a permanent end to the hostilities. There has been hopeful movement in the talks to secure an agreement on this deal. And as I just told Prime Minister Netanyahu, it is time to get this deal done.
On Wednesday, she missed his address to the US Congress. Not a way to treat an ally, remarked an Israeli official.
Is in upheaval.
But for those who had grown tired of Mr Biden's stance on Israel, it has raised some hope. Even before Mr Biden stepped down from the presidential race, we saw a small split.
As Israel defends itself, it matters how. The United States is unequivocal. International humanitarian law must be respected. Too many innocent Palestinians have been killed. Frankly, the scale of civilian suffering and the images and videos coming from Gaza are devastating.
Ms Harris appeared to be more willing to criticise Israel for its response to the October 7th attack. According to Politico, she's privately said that the White House should take a stronger stance with Mr Netanyahu. In March, Ms Harris called for an immediate temporary ceasefire, describing the conflict as a human catastrophe.
Of suffering in Gaza, there must be an immediate ceasefire. For at least the next 6 weeks, which is what is currently on the table. This will get the hostages out and get a significant amount of aid in.
It was reported officials even had to tone down parts of her speech. The remarks she delivered included stating people in Gaza are starving and calling on Israel to do more to ensure the delivery of aid. The officials who quit the Biden administration to protest against the White House response to the war in Gaza are said to be positive about the VP. They are said to be cautiously optimistic that Ms Harris would be willing to consider policy changes to protect Palestinians. Josh Paul, a former State Department official, told Politico Ms Harris seemed less fixed and intransigent than Mr Biden on the issue. A new approach could help win back Democrat voters who were put off by Mr Biden's response to the war in Gaza, and Ms Harris is a supporter of the two-state solution. She needs to keep both groups on side, though, and walking that tightrope will be one of the trickiest acts as we move towards the election.